Goddag or hello here on my little Danish channel. Today I will make week 2 in Rita Sommer's challenge, the word challenge. And I have already made the first one, the first week, and this is this one, and I will link a video below for you, and perhaps I will make a playlist for it. All I mention here in the video of things I link to, you can find here below the video under the little word more. But away with this one here. I don't know if I will be making videos every week, yet that depends on my Saturday mornings here, if I have time to do it. But we will see how it goes. And by the way, if you're new here, or if you're not new here, but an old friend of mine here, a warm welcome to both of you. And I would just quickly say my name is Lisbeth, and I'm Danish, and I'm a mixed media abstract artist who likes to do many different things. And especially I like to mix embroidery with other things. I think I want to be a part of lifting the embroidery out of this old dusty thing and do some new and exciting things with the embroidery. So let us, also I want to say I recently have made me a Ko-fi account, so if anybody are interested in supporting my channel and my work, and you're welcome to use that. Don't feel obligated in any way, just an option for you. But let us get started with week 2. Every week Rita is picking a word from a teapot or what it is. You have all these words in, and week 2's word was round, and I think she made this word for me. I'm just joking, but that is totally up my ball game, because those of you who have been with me here for a while know my last year's challenge was circles, and I love everything that is round. So it is obviously I'm going to do something with a circle on here. But I have chosen to make my substrate black for this challenge, so long as I think I can do it. I have the artistic right to change during the process or during the year, but I will see if I can stick to the colors black for background and red and white and black thread. I also have these 4 kinds of threads I will use. But when I think of the word round, I of course think immediately of circles, and then my brain already stops and I don't think of anything more, because there are thousands of things you can do with circles. So I will here in this video trace a round circle here on some, it's cardstock or some kind of paper. I don't know exactly what it is. Trace a circle as a little smaller than my fabric and paint it with some red watercolor. And then I will sew it on here or do something in the circumference or inside the circle. I don't know yet. It depends on how my watercolor piece is going to look. So that is the plan for now. Also, I will say I like to stitch not in one layer. My black fabric here isn't particularly flimsy, but I like to have more sturdy things to hold on to. So before I do anything, I will invisible base this down and I will show it to you. But while I'm doing that, this can lie for drying, so I think I will start tracing my circles and paint them first. I have this paper, as I said, and I have found a plastic thing here to put under so I don't damage my felt under my substrate here. So I will just take this intense pencil, and I know it is black, and it will probably smear and do all sorts of things when I put water onto it. But I want some patterns, or yeah, I don't know, because I will figure out where to trace my circle and cut it out from where I think it looks nice. So on with that, and then I will take my, yeah, which one do I want? I think I want this red one here. So I will just put a lot of water on here and here. And then I will just, yeah, you can see it smears, and the red is getting another kind of color, but I don't mind that the red isn't, we don't have them anymore. They have been closed down here the 1st of January, but our boxes to put mail in was this really, really red. So I will just paint all of this and let it dry. For those of you down under, I just want to let you see what it looks like when I'm looking out of my window. And there's a lot of snow, and today there is a lot of sun also, so that is very nice. And you could see all the birds' feet in the snow, because I feed them. I like to have a lot of birds to look at. Yeah, let us get stitching and not bird watching. Here you can see I always make my background fabric, the other piece of background fabric, a little smaller than my substrate, because I don't want it to peek out. So I will just turn it over, because now I know it's sitting there. So, and I know it's nearly impossible to see here in the black, but the invisible basting is just coming up, and take a couple of threads back. And yeah, there is a little point on this needle, but not much. I think I will take another one. That's probably one of the needles I used for when I'm sewing into paper, and I will do that in a little while. But you come up and go down a couple of threads back and come up. It's like a little tiny back stitch on the front and a long stitch on the back. Here you can see all the long stitches. That is all I do, and I will do this all the way around. So here it is. So it's so dry I can work with it. So now I just want to find a place where I can trace a circle I think would look nice. And I'm looking at that area there. I really like this, what is it called, cauliflower, the vegetable you eat there, or perhaps there, but it's a little light. So, but of course I can, yeah. No, I think I like it better here. That is, you can go around and see where you like it the most. I like that line there also, but I think I like it better with the black lines here. So I think I will go with it from here. So I've just traced that circle, and I will just take my scissor and cut that out. So done with my circle, and this I will save because I maybe can use it in some of the upcoming weeks. So I will just take my glue stick and oops, there's sitting something there. And it's not for attaching it, it's just to keep it in place while I'm stitching. So I will center it the best I can. Yeah. I think that is okay. So I will take it upside down and then I can squeeze it down and I will give it a, oh sorry for shaking you, give it a minute or so so it can dry. If I'm thinking of any stitches that are round, the most round thing I can make is a buttonhole wheel, but I don't want to do that. And the next thing is that's coming to my mind is of course the chain stitch. It isn't round, it's more like a leaf or drop shape, but I think I will go with that. And I think I will make my chain stitch here, and then I will elongate it and stitch into the paper, and that way I can secure my paper here on the background. So that is what I will be going for, and I will see if I like it. If I don't like it, I can always, yeah, that is perhaps, yeah, let us see if that's too big or too small. And then I will just come up, not in the paper, but in the fabric there. And you can see I've taken a very red thread there, and then I will just go inside the paper there. I think I like that. So it is just doing it all the way around. And I think sometimes it can be difficult if you're stitching onto a curve and you want your stitches to be straight like this and not like going like this or like this. So very often I divide my circumference up in smaller parts and make that part and take the next part, because then I'm sure that it will look okay. So for instance, I will say and I don't mind my thread just is going a little long on the back, but I will come up here and then I will see to that I go diagonal into the circumference there, and there is something there, and just go into my paper there. And now you can see this is a little wonky, but now it is much easier to fill this room out than it is just going around, unless you're super good at making your stitches straight. But again, I think I will just, yeah, how many can we do? And I can see the sun is coming in here, and I don't want sun here on my, yeah, I don't think there's much more I can do about it now. Again, I come in, go down in the same hook. Yeah, you probably all know the chain stitch, and come up there and make a little leg here. There. And I probably can make one more in there, but I can always do that. You don't have to put them totally close to each other if you're not sure at the beginning. Perhaps when you have been doing it a little, you will get into some kind of rhythm where you can see exactly where you're going to stitch. So I think I will make stitches in between here also, so it would be totally filled up with chain stitches. And up to the border here, or the edge of the paper, and in here. You could have made these longer than I have now, but mine will be a little wonky, and I don't mind that either. You know, wonky is what I like. And I think when we have been all the way around, it would just look okay. You don't look at the one little specific stitch. You look at the whole image. Yeah. So let us see here. I can come up a little closer, so you perhaps can see it better. So I will continue with that all the way around, and then I will have to figure something out I want to do in here, but I think now I want to follow the black lines with a thin black thread, but let us see when I'm done with all this stitching, and that would take me some time. You can see here, perhaps I have just taken another thread and another needle and made these small stitches there, so I know, and they are going in the right angle into my circle, and I think that makes it easier for me. It makes it easier to put them nicely, the stitches. You can see I'm slowly working my way through, and even though some of the stitches are wonky and the space isn't the same, or the length of the leg here or the stem isn't the same, it doesn't matter in my opinion. You will see it as one whole here, this circle I've been stitching onto, and I think it looks quite nice. I'm satisfied so far, but I will sew the rest of the circle. Done with all these stitches, and doesn't that look very nice, even though they are wonky and not even spaced out and everything, but totally when you look at it, it looks very nice. I know I have taken this white out here. I didn't use it in last week's little challenge, but I think it is too hush screaming white. So instead I think I will use this one here. I think it is much better, and also when I think of it, it goes more like the paper color there. So I will go for this color instead. And I know I was talking about stitching these lines there, but you know, we have the artistic right to change our mind, so that is what I have done. I would very much like these lines to be seen, and since this week's prompt, or yeah, the little word is round, another stitch that is round, even though it is very small, is a French knot. So I think I will just drizzle some French knots out here, not cover the line, but put them somewhere here in this area here. And I am stitching up through a lot of layers here, so if I normally you will go one or two, and then you will go down nearly the same place if you were stitching into fabric only. But here I have both fabric and a piece of cardstock. So, and I want to go in the same hole. So I need to have a couple of more turns not to pull this thread directly through everything, and I don't have done a stitch. But you always come, yeah, that's the way I do it. You could, probably other ways you can do it, but I hold my needle like this, and then I take my thread and turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for instance, and then I keep the tension with my thumb. And now I will see if I can go into the same hole. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? And Oh, what was I thinking about now? I can't remember now. It will probably come to me later. Yo, now I know what it is I was thinking about, and that was the head of the needle. It is easier to have a needle where the head and the stalk of the or the stem of the needle is the same. You can't feel any difference. For instance, I very much like to sew with these needles here. Let me see. I will take a bigger one. I very much like to sew with this tapestry needle from John James, and they are very pointy, but there the head is quite big, and I like to use them not so much in paper, but when I stitch in everything else, because they are so easy to thread, and my eyesight isn't what it has been when I was younger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can, while you are here, learn to count in Danish at the same time. So here we go there. So I will just do a couple of them, and yeah, you have to remember where you came up. And no knots, please, only the French knots that I want. 1, 2, 3, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. En, 2, 3, 4, 5. And keep the tension in the hole there. And don't pull too hard when you thread. There. En, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the same hole, keep the tension of the thread, and there. Ooh, I'm happy about this. And it can be a little difficult to hit the hole, because you can't nearly see it in fabric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the same hole here again. Keep the tension. And in here. But I will make a couple of more of them, and then I think this piece is done. And it's quite simple, but I really like it. It's much more my style than this one from last week. I've done it, and this is how it is. But so I won't stitch any more French knot, not to overload this little piece. But since I'm wrapping so many times around, they sometimes get a little wonky, and I don't mind that. It just gives it more texture and more. Yeah, I just think it looks very nice. So this would be how my piece for the word round is. And I must say I'm a little exciting as time will come here, because I'm absolutely not a word person. It's not what tricks me. It's shapes and colors and nature, not words. I'm a very bad with words. I was a very slow person to learn to read and write, even though today I read a lot of books, but and I'm a fast reader, but words doesn't trick me. I don't get associations as easily when somebody mention a word. So I'm quite excited how I will cope with this challenge. And also, I don't know, as now it's here in Denmark, it's winter, so I have a lot of time be inside, and I have my own channel also to look after, so I don't know if I will be able to make videos on this every time, but we will see what time will show. I haven't either decided what to do with them, so for now they will just go in a chocolate box from Christmas and sit there until I figure out what to do with them. There are many options. You can make a book, and you can buy a sketchbook and put them in, sew them on a scroll, or yeah, there are so many things you can choose to do with them, and I don't know that yet. I hope you have found inspiration in this video here, and perhaps you want to rush out and do the challenge yourself. There will be ways to find Rita's YouTube channel here under the little word more. But also perhaps you can see here that it isn't very difficult to stitch into paper. And perhaps you want to try this yourself after you have seen me doing this and can see how easy it is. But else I would just say, if you liked what you have been seeing or liked my channel, please give it a thumbs up, this video, and please subscribe to my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful of you, and I would appreciate it very much. Also, you can hit the notification bell so you can see when I'm putting videos up. And also, please give me a comment. I like to be in touch with my community. So the last thing I want to say is, stay creative the best you can, and also take care the best you can. And not but least of all, please be nice to everybody. So bye for now, and perhaps we see you next Saturday. Hej, farvel.